Welcome to the Morning Mindset edition of the Live, Build, Change podcast. I am here to help you live your faith in an authentic way that's aligned with the truth of God, and to potentially build a business that can not only fuel your life and the care of those you care for, but can also potentially change the world through the income that you're able to generate through that business. But this Morning Mindset edition is really about that first part, that living your faith part. Because you can't live your faith apart from a healthy mindset, a mindset that is based on truth. And we need that every day, don't we? We need to be able to see ourselves and the world around us and the God we serve rightly. We need to have all that straightened out in our own heads before we meet the day. And so today we are going to meet the day by getting our mindset right. And in these last few episodes, I've been talking about your new identity in Christ. Man, identity is a big deal. You know, in our day with all the digital things going around, we hear often about identity theft, where someone gets a hold of your social security number and gets credit in your name and makes purchases in your name. And so in a very real way, even though the digital is all unseen, I mean, it's all bits and bytes and electrons and stuff like that being transmitted over the internet, it's data that is tied to your identity. And so even though you can't see it, you can't touch it, you can't taste it, you can't handle it, it's very real and it affects you in a very real way, right? When someone steals your identity. And it takes a long time to get that all sorted out with the companies that are involved with your credit and your debt. Well, I suspect that most of us live each of our days with our identity stolen. And I'm not talking about the currency digital sort of way. I'm talking about our true identity. And who has stolen our identity? It's the enemy of our souls. It's Satan himself, who does not want us to know and understand and live out of our true identity. He doesn't. Because when we understand who we really are in Jesus Christ, we are a danger to his plans. We are an obstacle, an opponent he has to overcome. And he'd much rather make us ineffective from the start so that we don't become a danger to him. And I've been talking the last few episodes, the daily episodes, about our identity in Christ. If you haven't heard those, please go back and listen to them. They build some foundational biblical principles and bring them to light so that you can understand what I mean when I say you have a new identity. But I want to ask you this morning to consider, as you face a new day, have I been living with my true identity stolen? Have I been living according to how I feel? Have I been living according to those old voices going on in my head from parents or teachers or people in my past or experiences that have convinced me that I'm no good, that I'm not capable, that I'm a loser, a sinner, I'll never amount to anything? Or at the very least, God can only do small things in my life because I'm just really not all that usable. Have you been believing those sorts of things? Have you been living according to those beliefs? If you have, then your true identity has been stolen by the enemy of your soul. He's hiding it from you. He's trying to keep you from understanding that you are, because of Jesus, more than a conqueror. You've got to get your mind right. I've got to get my mind right every single day. Please don't hear me saying I've got all this wired. This is still a struggle for me day by day by day, but I've come to see the necessity of getting this handled every morning. And you know what? Over time, you start to live in it a little more naturally because you're replacing the old years' worth of bad thinking about yourself and your identity with this new thinking that is based in the truth of what Jesus has done for you. So I'm praying today that whatever you face, you will face it out of the knowledge of your new identity, being convinced of who you are because of Jesus and giving thanks to him for it. I will see you tomorrow on the Morning Mindset Edition.